I could have just bought a vase, but what's the fun in that? I 3D printed a mold, poured some concrete, and made this instead. Because when you've got concrete and a 3D printer, you can make any shape you want. I wanted to see if I could turn concrete into something elegant. No potter's wheel, no messy clay, just a 3D printer and some creativity. The goal was a clean, elegant shape that could stand on its own or work as an accent piece, whether it's indoors or out. Welcome back to Timber West Design, where we talk timber, shade structures, and outdoor living. Here are the supplies you're going to need for this project. Some Cementol cement mix. You need a scale to weigh out the water to a cement ratio. You'll need a way to mix it like a drill mixer. This works really well. Then you'll need a mold. Here's one of the molds. This particular project takes 5 pieces. Oh, and then you need some mold release for that mold. Don't forget that. Then you need some spot putty, some sandpaper. I use this sandable primer as a filler. And then these kind of go together because this needs a base color of what you kind of want it to be. So I use this white primer to be the base coat for this flex stone, and this looks really sharp when it's all put together. So this is the supplies you'll need. Get this gathered up and let's get started. This is the shape of the vase I came up with. Just a nice, sleek, simple design. Got that core in the middle. The mold for the core has a flange like this, and then the inner section. And then the outer, I split it in half, so I have a top half and a bottom half. You just duplicate that twice for each one, and then the core obviously comes back here into the middle. And this is ready to go to the printer. So let's send this to the 3D printer and get going. This 3D print is pretty straightforward and simple. 5 parts, nice and clean design. Can't wait to pour this and see how it's going to look. The molds are done from the 3D printer. So our next step is to put some mold release on here. So I have my little mold release box, use my canola oil spray, put a layer on here, and then I just take this foam brush and just kind of make sure it's all spread nicely, just like so. It doesn't take a lot, and you definitely don't want it to puddle. Just finishing up the last piece. This core has got 2 degrees draft on it, which is a minimal draft. I would never go much less than 2 degrees, 2 to 3 degrees minimum. So I went 2 on this one. So we need to make sure it has plenty of mold release so this thing actually comes out. So we got the bottom half, just gonna go like that, and the top half we'll bolt these together, and then we'll bolt these together, and then we'll put the core in. The main body's put together. So I have this core, this will make the inside portion. And we're going to bolt this thing to the body, and then it's time for some concrete. We're all put together, just snugging up the last few bolts. We just need them snug, nothing too tight. So we're ready to pour. This is going to take about 8,800 grams of concrete. I could mix it in one batch, or I could make 2 smaller batches. It's a little easier to deal with in smaller. So I'm going to make 2 just kind of back-to-back fast batches. We'll pour them in here. We'll get to that point. Here's our first batch. Pouring it in. I have mixed 8 to 10,000 gram mixes before, but it's just a little harder to get the drill going, and the smaller batches are just a little easier to work with. There's our second batch. Here we go. So let's just get in right to the edge. Okay, so what I like to do is just slightly overfill. I'm going to tool it after. You can put a little motor on here like a sander or a reciprocal saw to vibrate this, or you can just tap it by hand. But it's thin enough that this disperses well just by hand tapping as well. So we'll give this a few minutes, and I'll tool the top as it starts to set up, and we'll give it a few hours and give it a pull. It's set up just a little bit, just enough that I can take a trowel. Just make sure it's nice and flat, because this is going to be sitting on this end. This is the bottom, so you don't want it to wobble. So we'll give it a few hours and I'll see you then. I want to thank this week's sponsor, Pale Blue Batteries. You know, I like nice high-end flashlights, and you know what powers my flashlights? Pale Blue rechargeable batteries. What I like about them is I can take a power bank on the go. There's a USB-C port right on the battery. I can plug it in, charge on the go. Pale blue batteries, they're awesome. It's been a few hours, it's time to take this mold apart. I'm anxious to see how this is gonna look. So we'll just unbolt these bolts and we'll start peeling molds off and see what we end up with. Here's the last bolt. Okay, it's time to start demolding. So just put a little screwdriver in here. I've got good draft everywhere, so this is gonna pull very nice. Just like that. Pop this one, like so. There we go. That one's off. I'll just give it a little tap. That one's off. And the core. Oh, that pulled right out. Perfect. So there we go. That's our vase. There's the inside. I like it. Looking good, looking good. So let's give it just a few days to dry out, at least till tomorrow. 1 to 2 days typically. We'll sand it, all the parting lines, get it cleaned up, get it ready for primer. Let's get it to that stage. I'll see you then. So it's been a few days. This is dried out well enough to sand. So we've got a parting line here where the molds meet. So I'll either take a block or just some folded up sandpaper. And we just want to hit those and get it smoothed up for the priming stage. So I'm just going to go around, feel it. If it's a little bit more than I want to do with the hand sandpaper, I can take a block and I can block it in. Gives you a nice surface. So you go around, feel it. Once it feels good, then we're going to go to the priming booth. So what we're going to do is prime it. Just going to put a light coat on here at first. Kind of go through it. This is a building primer. So what we'll do is I'll kind of get a light coat going and then I'll just load on a coat after this. So we'll go through this like that, put a nice coat on, come back after it dries, put another nice coat on, a heavier coat, take a look at it, see how it looks. I might put a third coat on depending on what I'm seeing, and at that point we'll get to some spot putty. The primer has dried, so there's a few little flaws here and there, just minor little things. So I take my spot putty, I like to put it on a glove or either a glove, but if you've got a little area like that, you just take your spot putty and just kind of dab some in. And we'll just kind of go through this thing, and anything that's just minor little holes that would bother you on the paint job, we got to take care of now. So I'm going to spot putty this all. We'll sand it all down with 150 grit sandpaper. I'll do one more coat of primer, see how it looks, and we'll take it to that point. The gray primer and spot putty are done. I'm going to use a flex paint that needs a white base coat. So I'm going to use this primer. It's a white primer to go over the gray primer. And we're just going to do a kind of a medium to light coat. Just basically we're just covering so that the Flectone paint that I'm going to use has a good base color. So we'll just continue with this and maybe a couple of coats, and then we'll get it ready for the top coat. So I think the gray is pretty much covered, just kind of going around a little bit, touch up, see if there's any light spots. Got a problem with my spinner here. The spikes are not quite wide enough to capture this whole thing. I'm gonna go custom print a little spiky disc that holds that up flat but keeps the spike away from the edge a little bit better. The white primer is dry and ready to paint. So I like this Rust-Oleum textured stone finish. It's very nice. It needs a light base coat for this. We're just going to put some light layers on here. And just rotate, just kind of slowly go around. I'll put a layer about this heavy on here and then let it sit for maybe an hour. And then I'll come back and put another coat about this heavy on again. And that should take care of it. So I've let this sit for half an hour. You just want to let it flash off a little bit before the next coat. So time to put another coat on. Just gently, nice and careful. You don't want to get too heavy. You just kind of go around and make sure you got a good covering. This is going to look really sharp. I love how this paint job turned out. Nice texture, nice shape, nice and clean. I really like how this ended up turning out. So we have the hole we need to put something in, so let's put a little arrangement in here. something like so. Makes it look sharp. You could put this on your patio, put this on your nightstand, wherever in your house, outside in your pavilion, wherever it's gonna fit your decor. I like it, I hope you do as well. If you like this project, hit the like button and subscribe. I've got more fun projects coming that you won't want to miss. If you like these files and you would like to print your own, you can go to my website at timberwestdesign.com. For a small fee, download the files, print your own, cast your own projects. And you know what? I'll see you next time for some more fun projects. Stay curious, stay creative, and I'll catch you on the next build.